Hello everyone, my name is Chandan Modi and you are watching my channel Optimistic Baba. First of all, let me apologize that I could not post any video last week because of a very heavy workload I had. So in this week, in placement special, we are going to talk about the resume. Now, resume is one of the most important parts of the entire recruitment process. Be it a fresher or an experience holder, a resume is must. Now, a resume is kind of a sales pitch which talks about your achievements, your overall skills, and your fitment in the organization. And now that is the only document which is with the recruiter even before they have met you. So that document should speak for itself, and that it should be crisper, it should be attractive. Now there are certain mistakes which we, especially freshers, make while creating their resume because they do not have any past experience of creating any kind of resume. So here I'm going to talk about five common mistakes which we commit while making our resume. So let's continue with the video. And before we go ahead, I request all of you to please subscribe to my channel if you like my content, and also like and share so that this information goes to the maximum people. First and the most common mistake which we make is when we create a lengthy resume. Now, if your resume is lengthy, the HR person who is scrutinizing your CV may lose interest and may even find it boring. In such case, your critical and important points which could have improved your chances may go unnoticed. And this will definitely reduce your chances of getting shortlisted for the next round of selection. So what you should do for freshers and those with less experience, I feel one page resume is perfect. Anything more than that must be avoided. In order to improve your chances of getting shortlisted, please highlight only relevant and critical information. It is always better to first create a list of pointers you want to mention in your resume and then shortlist the most critical and strongest of them which you feel will add weightage to your candidature. Now once you have shortlisted those points which you want to mention in your CV or resume, do not put them in paragraphs. Instead, put them in bullet points. This will make your resume look short, crisper, and to the point. The second most common mistake is regarding the formatting of the entire resume. Before we move ahead, please look at this resume. Can you notice some mistakes here? You can see that the resume is using two different font styles. Also, the header font size is smaller than the contents font size. If you observe carefully, here we are using two different font sizes in the same section. Now let us identify one more issue. Can you see the bullet points? Yes, they are not aligned properly. There could be many more points also, but here I wanted to highlight what are some of the most common formatting related mistakes we commit while creating our resume. An unformatted resume or a poor formatted resume shows the lack of professionalism in the applicant, or it may also show that the applicant is not very interested in the job profile. It can also imply that the applicant has a poor attention to details or poor observational skills. So what you should do? If you're studying in some college, check if it provides a standardized format for the CV. It is always better to use a college provided standardized format in case of on-campus drives, as the recruiter will know where in your resume to look for some critical information about the candidate. In case you are applying as laterals or through an off-campus drive, you can Google and find out some awesome resume formats and you can use them. Here I'm not asking you to hire a professional resume service, but you can do some R&D and create your own format, which could be more attractive than what you can find on by Googling. Secondly, stick to a particular font style. Like if you're using Times New Roman, use Times New Roman in the entire resume. Or if you're using Calibri or Verdana, whatever you want to choose, you choose and stick to that. Don't change the font styles in between while creating the resume. It looks very odd. While creating the resume, you must maintain a homogeneous font size. For example, the font size of all headings and subheadings or company names you have worked with should be same or similar. Also, their respective contents should have the same font size. And lastly, maintain proper alignments of the content and the bullet points. All the headings, subheadings, contents, and bullet points should be aligned properly as shown here. This way, your resume will not only look tidy, but it will also speak about your personality. Let's go to the third mistake, third most common mistake which we generally commit. It is regarding the spelling and the grammar. Spelling and grammatical mistakes makes a resume less effective in terms of the communication. Also, this shows the lack of control on the language and lack of self-confidence. Some mistakes are so silly that when it is ignored or overlooked, it can also speak about the applicant's poor observational skills. So what you should do? I would suggest use simple language. This is not your language exam. Also, don't copy our beloved Shashi Tharoor. The recruiter should also understand what you are writing. And secondly, I would suggest do not forget to use the spelling and grammar function of Microsoft Word. To use this functionality, first click on the review button and then click here. Sometimes what happens is even this functionality doesn't give desired results. So in such case, what you can do is there are many free apps like Grammarly and others which you can download and install on your laptop or computer. I personally use Grammarly. However, you can find other apps also. So as you can see here, I've already installed Grammarly. So once you install it, it automatically gets linked with the Microsoft Word. And when you type something, it will check your content and will suggest not only correct spellings, but will also propose you a better option in terms of the words or the sentences. So once you have completed your resume, I would suggest that you read it again and again and again. Whenever you read it, you will find some things which you can change, and this way you will improve your resume. And lastly, for better results, you may also share your resume with your friends and ask them to review. This way you will get a second perspective, and if required, you can do necessary changes as suggested by them. Now, fourth mistake in our list is something related to what we put in the CV and what actual knowledge we carry. So I have named it as content versus current. So let's see what exactly it is. Now, you should be truthful to yourself while you are writing your resume. If you are mentioning any skill like technical skills, for example, any programming language or any tool which you have worked on, you must have good knowledge of that subject. If you earlier have worked on some skill, but unfortunately you have forgotten, please do not mention that in your resume. I would like to share an example with you. It's my personal example. In 2007, when I was completing my MBA, when I was in the last semester, in our campus placement, Infosys had come. Now my CV was shortlisted and I was called for the interview. Everything was fine until I was asked questions regarding the core Java technology. Now you guys must be wondering that since I'm studying MBA, why they are asking me core Java. It was my mistake. I had mentioned core Java in my CV, and I have actually worked on core Java, but that was 3 years back, as in 2004 or 2005. And when I joined an MBA institute, I lost touch, so I completely forgot how we do coding, what are the object-oriented programming concepts, and those questions were asked to me because I had mentioned core Java. And that was the point when everything went south, and eventually I was not shortlisted. So I learned it very hard way that if you lie in your resume, then your CV may be shortlisted, but you may not crack the interviews, and you may not go beyond that point. So it's always good to be truthful to yourself, and do not mention anything which you do not know or you have forgotten in terms of skills or any knowledge. Now the fifth and last point in my list is blowing your own trumpet. Now it is a very subjective topic because I do understand it is very important to mention your achievements. However, I also feel that we should be very careful while mentioning that. It shouldn't sound that you are blowing your own trumpet or you are patting your own back. You have to be very modest and very humble while mentioning those points. I personally feel that one liner per achievement will do the justification to the point, and anything more than that would sound more arrogant. But of course, that is my personal feeling. That's my perspective. Well, I follow that thumb rule. So the whole idea is whenever you are writing your achievements, you should not sound as if you were a one-man army or you are patting your own back or in Hindi we say अपने मुंह में मिट्ठू बनना. Please do not do that because that will show your arrogance in that will reflect your arrogance to the recruiter, and that may reduce your chances for selection. So that's all from my side for this week, friends. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like my content, I sincerely, humbly request you to please subscribe, like and share. It gives me motivation to create more contents like this. I hope whatever videos I'm creating here will help people in cracking their placement interviews, placement rounds. I understand we have a tough time because of this coronavirus pandemic, and the number of opportunities freshers will be getting this year will be far lesser than the last year, and for that matter last to last year. So the whole objective of my YouTube channel is to help them convert whatever opportunities they are getting into a successful job offer. So I wish you all the best. Please stay tuned and spread happiness. Thank you so much. Until next week. Bye bye.